Hey guys, it's Mike Goldstein here with the Crushing It with Kitchen Remodeling podcast. And today I am so happy to have John Ward from All in One Kitchen and Bath. And he's going to talk to us a little bit about luxury kitchen remodeling and how selling luxury kitchen remodeling has helped his business as well as has really helped improve the lives of those people in Eastern Michigan. And we're going to do all of that right after this. Hey, John, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Well, I'm so glad that you're here with us today. So you run a company up in Eastern Michigan called All in One Kitchen and Bath. So tell me a little bit about that. What is All in One Kitchen and Bath?
All in One Kitchen and Bath is a place that you can go to and get everything that you need in one place without having to shop around for products and installation and dealing with contractors. We put it all together in one place. Um, and so that way the consumer can come to a place, feel where they can trust. Everything will be done in one place, and from product selection to installation to the finished product.
Oh, that's great. So, I mean, it sounds like it probably eliminates a lot of the stress that people have when they're dealing with contractors and dealing with designers and then finding the stock and all of that. You can really just get it all done right in one area.
Yeah, 100%. It's takes away the stress, gives them the trust factor. Plus, they'll know who's in their home and when we're in their home for on the construction side of it. It's one of the big things that we heard in the industry is a lot of people that they got all these different subcontractors coming through their home, and nobody's telling them who, when, and how they're getting things done, and it just kind of simplifies the process.
Yeah, and I imagine when you're dealing with a lot more luxury, and high level kitchen remodeling and home remodeling, that the level of clientele also probably is a little bit more concerned about who's coming into their home and what's going on. So that certainly is going to really reduce the stress and just make it a lot easier for you to to sell the client and to explain to them, listen, who's going to be there. You don't have to worry every day there's going to be somebody new in your place.
Yeah, 100%. The higher end customers, they don't, that trust kind of got built with them. They wanted that process. They prefer it, so they're gonna follow the process. The people that we kind of shift away from are people that kind of fight the process. They want to have their own people come and do certain parts of the process, and that's where we kind of have to draw that line. So that luxury customer, they don't question nothing. They want the entire process. That's why they're doing business with us, and they trust the fact that we're going to come, give them the product that they pay for.
That makes a lot of sense. So, when you say luxury customer or luxury kitchen remodeling, I know that's something that you guys are known for up there in Howell and in the surrounding Eastern Michigan areas. What exactly does that mean to you, a luxury kitchen remodel?
Well, it's the 7 steps to a professional remodel, and that's the start of it. Luxury to us means it's the customer that wants to have a dedicated designer to walk them through the project. It's not just a designer; it's our design team are experts in remodeling. So it's when we say a luxury remodel, there's the product is a part of that, but it's also the process. When you have professionals that are, we have a group of guys that withhold to the all-in-one standard, which puts us in that luxury category. The details, it's all in the details, from production management to making sure they're getting. I don't say to hold their hand, but there's a process and they know what's going on from scheduling to the software that we use, which is Build a Trend. That software will allow that customer to feel like they're engaged with our team at any given point of the job. So luxury is got a lot of different components to it. It's not just a high quality of product. It's the level of service they're going to get with the product.
That makes a lot of sense. So let me ask you, I mean, when you say, you're doing this luxury and the 7-step process and all that, do you find that, the customer that you're going out and you're talking to, do they have the same thought? Like, when they say luxury, I mean, are they just thinking, well, geez, I just need that just means to me granite countertops and the highest custom cabinets and the right backsplashes and all that, or is it more of a process to the customer when you talk to them about it?
It's more of a process, so the customer that's that we experience, it's coming through more of a luxury look after. They have you got to discover that some folks, to be quite frank, they don't even know all this exists. And so I guess in their mind initially it may be they want the luxury kitchen, they want that stuff, but they really don't have any idea where to start. So it always starts off with that initial conversation with one of our expert designers to discover if we're going to be a good fit. And what we understand that luxury is, because you have to educate the customer. Yes, some people that want a luxury kitchen will come to us and they just fall right in place and everything just kind of goes right through. And they love the fact there is a process because, hate to say it, but in this industry, the big downside of it is no, they have to be educated. People they consider luxury. I guess a customer can say, "Yeah, I want a luxury kitchen, but really all I need is countertops." But it really doesn't go hand in hand. Typically, that customer isn't looking for luxury; they're looking just to, I call it, put lipstick on a pig,
Yeah.
and that's usually you identify that pretty quick in the process.
Right. So, I mean, I imagine, when you have some people who probably come to you and they say, well, geez, we're looking to sell the house. We just want to, make it look nice. Can you just, do a little bit of, refacing work or something like that? What do you say to someone who comes to you and, just ask for, maybe a new coat on the countertop or reface the cabinets? I mean, how do you approach that and turn that into more of a, well, let's, educate them on why they want to do a full remodel and a luxury remodel at that.
Well, I look at the cabinet facing the same as somebody that comes in and knows that their cabinets are garbage, right? But they don't have the money to spend on it. They're selling a home, whatever the story is, and they just they want to spend $8,000 in countertops, and they'll pull all this money into the countertops and knobs and just to dress them up. Part of that could be refacing, but the reality of it is that you're not changing the core cabinet. So all you're doing is giving it a facelift. And if you're going to sell the home, that could make sense because the
Mhm.
reality is that it's not going to be your problem. But the consumer that's coming in, the functionality of that kitchen still is the functionality of the kitchen. So if that's a downside to them, you're not changing anything. All you do is make it look pretty. And so if you're selling the home, my suggestion is simple. Look at what's going to improve the value of the home, because the value in the home is one of the biggest spaces is a kitchen. So you can, if you look at the value of, or talk to the real estate company that you're working with, and ask them to give you the value of, hey, if we put a brand new kitchen in here, and then base the budget on the kitchen based on the reality of what you're going to get in return. Because today's market, I mean, people are going well over and above of what the price of that home is going to be anyway. So you can get the value pretty easily out of it. And then same with the bathroom. The bathrooms are the same thing. So when it comes to refacing, I always tell people it's simple. You're not getting a factory product. You're not getting a factory finish. I relate it to Mako, or when people back in my days when they bought the car as a high school kid and they wanted it to turn it purple, and they go down to Mako and they get this beautiful paint in their eyes, 3 grand, got this amazing paint job, and then 2 weeks later the paint's flipping off. Um, because they don't use all the same technology that these auto industries use and have been using for years, and that's why the paint sticks. It's kind of the same thing when it comes to refacing a cabinet. If you're not getting the factory finish, all the steps that they take to make sure that stain's going to work or that paint's going to work for longevity and the warranty that goes behind it. You're going to spend quite a bit of money refacing cabinets. Now, people get tripped up because there's a couple different terminologies. Refacing and refinishing is completely two different things. And this is where people get tripped up. Refacing is, and this is where a lot of people need to do the homework. If you have a cabinet sitting in your kitchen right now, you need to identify what parts of it are wood and what parts of it are photo paper. Because you can't do anything with the photo paper. You have to create wood with that before you're going to paint anything. And that wood species is not going to identify the same wood species that the rest of the cabinet is. So now you have stains or paints that may not take the same colors. And so that's where you have to really identify what you have and what makes sense. And then also go talk to a company, a designer or, cabinets, get a price. Because I have several people that have come to us wanting to do a complete kitchen remodel, wanting to save money on just keeping what they currently have, and reface it. And they've come to find out by the time that you do all the work of sanding and getting all the full of paper turned into wood, you do all that stuff, and then you find out that by the time you get done painting it, are you going to love it? Is it going to match? Is it going to look the way you want it to look? Then you put all those knobs on it. And then you determine, I got to do soft close. Yeah, everybody wants the soft close doors and drawers. So now you have to upgrade all your drawers to do that. You're going to spend more money doing that than it would be to just buy a new cabinet.
And I was gonna say, I imagine, like, when you go through this process with people too, it probably makes it a lot easier for you to to sell, because the transparency, that you're showing them. Listen, you're gonna spend more money just, as you say, putting lipstick on a pig in some situations, than actually doing it right. And when you do it right, you're gonna have this product, you're gonna have this kitchen or the bathroom for a lot longer, because it's solid construction. I mean, how do you go about that? And do you have people, from time to time, who kind of question, well, is it really going to cost me more money to just to, put a facelift on, than to actually, redo the whole thing?
Yeah, I'll give you the biggest example I can give you. If you spent, just say that argument of sake that you just painted, you went to Home Depot, you bought the $150 kit, and you just took what you had and just painted it. Whatever it's going to look like, it's going to look like, right? You pleased your mind, you put brand new countertops on it. So let's just talk about that scenario. That scenario, say the paint job, your time, everything, you spent $1,000, $2,000, whatever it is, or you wouldn't have had it done with a company and you spent 5 to 10, 50, whatever the number is going to be. If it doesn't last, just throwing it out there. If it does not last, because it will not last as long as a brand new cabinet will. That's a guaranteed. You already got a box that's probably 20 years old. That's inside there that you haven't changed anything to. You just gave it a facelift. But use that as an example. So in 5 years, if you had to refix that and had to go buy cabinets on, because you then realized that didn't work, now you put brand new countertops on top of that lipstick on a pig scenario. So brand new countertops are going to cost between $5,000 to $8,000 today, depending if you want quartz, which most people do. So you can't keep. They're not going to come out and recut it, because once you change out cabinets, that changes the layout always. So now you put brand new countertops on it again, and now you're going to put brand new cabinets in again. So now you've spent twice the amount of money that you could have done once. So that's why it's so important that you think about the cost. So say if the cost was only $10,000 between the fact of you refacing it and just going all new and being able to change the layout, the construction. Most people that are doing a facelift have a solution that they're trying to solve, or a problem that they're trying to create a solution to. It's not just because they want to make them look pretty. There's something about it they don't like. And so with that said, I think that, yes, you have to outweigh the replacement cost that you're creating for yourself, because of the fact that you're not realizing that this stuff can't be repurposed. That little bit of money you spent on refacing those cabinets have no value to anybody. Zero. The new kitchen has value. The old kitchen still is an old kitchen. All you did is put pretty new doors on it, and maybe if you spent the extra money, you put new drawers in it, but you didn't change the physical layout. You didn't change anything other than cosmetically. So you're going to eat that cost is what I'm getting at. So that's a loss, because if it doesn't work out, which usually it's within 5 years from our experience of replacing that for people, because we don't reface. I just think it's a waste of money. So it's usually within 5 years they're back, or they're looking to replace the entire thing. So to me, you just $8,000 loss on a countertop, but let's say $5,000 loss, depending on the size of the kitchen, and then whatever you have invested in all that work. Now, if you hired somebody, it's a huge loss. You could have lost 15 to 20 grand that would have paid for your cabinets initially. So that's my theory in it. I think that, and if you're selling the home, that's the only time I say, you know what, you got to talk to the real estate person. That's the expert, right? And you got to find out what the value is, because if you can put $25,000 in the kitchen and make 50, which would be on it on the sale of the home.
Yeah.
So if you're asking 200 and you can get 250 by just doing the kitchen, to me, that's a win-win.
Sure. So, I mean, it really does
Depends on the
sound
situation.
like it's about educating the
Got to be
customer.
educated,
Yeah.
for sure.
So now I imagine that, somebody wants to learn more about, the different areas, what will increase the value of their home, what type of remodeling, and, whether you should go in, one area of cabinets versus the other, whether, whatever the issue might be. Is there a resource that, that you point people to? I know that you have a blog, certainly, that's got a ton of that information on it. Is that really where you direct people to, to kind of start their process, or would you just say, to talk to, if they're in Michigan, obviously, they come and talk to you. But, depending on where they are,
Hey, information is free.
Yeah.
It's just based on the information you want to believe. Or, I would always, just like if I was buying a house, I would want to talk to a realtor and I want them to do the market analysis and do all the homework. If you want to replace the kitchen, you need to call an expert and let them walk you through the different things. So, there's designers that don't have anything to do with remodeling. So if it's remodeling questions, I think you need to talk to somebody that's, got experience in remodeling. We give out free information all the time. I'd rather give you free information for you to make an educated decision to give you a bunch of bad information and have you make a really bad decision. So at any given time, yeah, definitely have you reach out to us. We'll have that conversation with you. We'll talk about the pros and the cons and our experiences. And there's always blogs we have on our blogs, on our website. You can go through our blogs and you can read all the different things that we've experienced throughout the years of doing this. But the most important thing is get information and get good information, which is going right to the source. To me, the best information is always going right to the source. Go to the expert and get the information that they can give you.
Sure. So if somebody did want to get a hold of you, John, or get a hold of your team, what's the best way to do that?
There's a couple different ways, depending on if you're on social media. You can look through us on Facebook. You just type in All in One Kitchen and Bath. You can call us 517-552-5985, or go to the web, renovateit.com. So renovateit.com.
That's awesome. Well, I want to thank you for the time today, John. It's been really helpful.
Mike, thank you.
It's been very educational. I'm sure that everybody out there who's listened to this and seeing this live on YouTube and checking it out on on Amazon Music and Google Podcasts is getting a lot out of this. It was really a pleasure today. Again, so thank you very much,
Mike. Thank you for having me on.
All right. Well, like I said, we appreciate having John on. I appreciate everybody who's tuned in today. So again, this was Michael Goldstein with the Crushing It with Kitchen Remodeling podcast, and we look forward to talking to you again soon. All right, bye, John.
Bye, Mike. Take care.